as Mouse, sometimes known as Andy, and I talk about books and book-related things, and today I am going to tell you about the top 10 books of 2020. Now, disclaimer, these are my personal opinions. This is how I personally feel about these books, and take it with a grain of salt. You might not like the same kind of books that I do. That's on you, not my problem. I will be having a companion video to this that is the worst videos, or not videos, the worst books that I read this year. I don't apologize for that, and I will have the same disclaimer in that video as well, so just be prepared for it. I also want to say, if you see that I've worn this exact outfit with this exact makeup in 3 or 4 videos, mind your business. I don't have enough spoons most of the time to change outfits, so I put makeup on, I'm gonna get my money's worth out of it, okay? Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the top 10 books from this year. I own most of them, but I will not be getting them down because some are over there on the permanent bookshelf, and that's like a whole thing. The first top 10, and these are not in order of best to worst, these are just in order of, I think, month read, really. So, the first book is Six of Crows by Leio. I would actually just say Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom together. It was the first young adult fantasy book that I had read in a while that I was deeply invested in the characters. One of my very first vlogs shows me getting the special editions of this book, and I genuinely loved these books so much. I want to reread them in 2021. We'll see if I do, but especially before Shadow and Bone comes out, right? I adored these books. Did not care for the Grisha trilogy as much as I adored these books, but I love a good heist, and I didn't even know I loved a good heist until I read the Six of Crows duology. So, the second book on the scheme of heist books, and I'm not trying to compare it to Six of Crows, is going to be Silver Serpens. This is the sequel in the Gilded Wolves trilogy. I loved, by Roshani Chokshi. I loved this book. I think I actually liked it more than Six of Crows, to be honest. The representation was beautiful. I loved Zoya. I would die for Zoya. My heart, all the time, you know? But all in all, it was a fantastic book. Both of the books were amazing. The thing that I hate, though, about these is I don't like this cover at all. I hate it. I hate this cover. I don't like that it doesn't match the Gilded Wolves. I'm not gonna mess that up to put it back on there without both my hands. So there's that. But it was one of my absolute favorite books. I could talk about it forever, and I'm glad that I have made lots of people read it. The next book is, no one's gonna be surprised by this, Scapegracers by Hannah Abigail Clark. I don't have the book because my cousin borrowed it and has not brought it back. Ozzy, can I have my book back? Just kidding. But can I? So it is the Scapegracers. That is a feral witchy book, and it makes me feel feral. I read it 3 times in 2020. That's how much I love the book. I made it a part of my readathon, and I'm currently trying to figure out how to make it a part of the sequel, a part of the readathon in book 2, and or in year 2 for the readathon. Sorry, words. You know, Clark, if you want to give me book 2 before it comes out, I would not complain. That's all I have to say. I loved this book so much. It made me feel represented as a teen girl. I feel like I was not represented well in most books because I wasn't the expected energy. So, on the theme of queer books, the next favorite book of the year is Cute Mutants by S.J. Whitby. Come here. I have read the first 3 books. I know there are 2 more books coming out. I almost went through an entire color of tabs in the first book alone. I loved these books so much with my whole heart. I actually want to reread them for no reason other than I enjoyed them so much. I need to actually write a thorough review of all 3 books that I currently have my hands on. And also they're this really satisfying cover. They're a very satisfying texture, but that's besides the point. The story is amazing, the romance in it was beautiful, and some of the conversations around gender identity and sexual identity are all very realistic and feel on par. As somebody who's non-binary, I find that those conversations sometimes are tricky and sticky. I think that SJ does a really good job of having them in their books. I also really appreciated the religious trauma in book 3. When I mention a book that is a part of a series, there's a strong chance that I am referring to all of the books in the series as my favorite because I probably read them all this year. The next book is going to be The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea by Maggie Takuta Hall. This is a book that also has the non-binary conversation and has queer characters and pirates and witches and mermaids, obviously from the title, and it's just so fantastical and written in such a way that feels poetic, and I think that's why I liked it so much. Definitely one of my favorites. The next book is Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. It is too far away for me to reach, but it is over on this bookshelf. Gay Witches. Gay Witches is really important to me. I find those books very important to me for lots of reasons. I think that they're interesting, and if they are written well, then they probably will make it to my favorites shelf. You're gonna find the pattern here soon, probably. I loved the way that it was written. I loved the little fairy tales that were included, and I loved that it included these conversations of how white feminists didn't have to fight necessarily the same battles or as hard of battles as black feminists, as well as transgendered people and gay people and that kind of thing. And this book really brings up those conversations, and I found that really interesting considering the main characters are all white. So I thought that was done well from me as a white person perspective. Somebody else might have a different opinion. But those conversations were done really well, and I really enjoyed them. The next one is Witches of Ash and Ruin by E. Latimer. Gay witches. Celtic gay witches. Murder. Serial killer killing witches. The end. This is one of my favorite books. It combines a lot of my favorite aspects. Gay witches, 1, Celtic mythology or lore, 2, and also thriller, murder mystery kind of vibes. It combined all of those, and religious trauma. Those are all my favorite aspects of books. And it combined all of them and put them in one book, and I found it to be really enjoyable. I think it's just a standalone though, and I would like more books from this like quote-unquote series. The next book is Cinderella is Dead. This is like a Cinderella retelling, but not really. It is many years after, Ozzy has this book too. It is many years after Cinderella has found her prince and true love and fairy tale and that kind of thing, and now girls have to attend a ball every year and basically get married off, and if they don't get married off, then life is really bad for them. The problem with that is if you're a queer person, and that is what our story is about. So I really liked it. I also found the cover absolutely beautiful, and the author is from San Antonio, which, like, me too. The next book is Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. It is a thriller, it is gay, and they're scary hornets and sassy footnotes. It is a story that crosses the span of 3 different timelines and 3 generations, and it is genuinely one of the most interesting books I've ever read. Now, it did take me a long time to get through the book because there was so much information to process, but with that aside, it was a really good book. The last book for my top 10 books is going to be A Curse of Roses. It is a book that just came out, and it is by Diana, and it is a Portuguese retelling. It's basically a retelling of a princess who could turn flowers into bread. We have religious trauma, we have queers, and we have magic. Do you sense a pattern here? Am I predictable now? If you're an author who's writing a book that has any of these themes, I want it. Give it to me. Thank you. So that's my top 10 books of 2020. Obviously, they pretty much had a pattern of being either heists, witches, gays, or all of the above. I have a type. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe and share and hit that notification button. If there's any books that you are definitely going to read from this list, let me know. If you disliked any of the books from this list, let me know. I would like to know why. And if you're excited to hear my 10 worst books of the year, stay tuned. I will come back next time, talk to you guys. Hope you have a great day, week, whatever, month, year, whatever's happening. Okay, thanks, bye.